everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome, and if you're coming back, thank you for coming back. Back in my watch haul, you may have seen I had a few other watches that weren't in the actual bag. This one I got at Value Village for $12.99, and it is a Longines. I had to Google how to pronounce that a fair amount, and Longines is fairly accurate how you pronounce it. It's Swiss made. It says it's from France, but they are Swiss, and they are one of the oldest still manufacturing watches today, but they're one of the oldest watch brands that are still in business today. It says it has a stainless steel back, base metal bezel, and it's got what, quite possibly is a diamond chip at each of the 12 and the 6. There's a tiny bit of verdigris right in the corner there, but that'll clean up. So I am going to open this up. This is my favorite watch back case remover, just because it has a nice little swivel to it. I have a couple of them because I tend to lose them. This one's it's in the same container as my Sharpies, so sometimes I grab the wrong thing, and rather than put it where it should go, I just labeled it. So most watches will have a spot, usually kitty corner to the crown. This one, it is not, it's above it right there. You can kind of see the little lip right there. And this, I'm just going to put that under there. I'm going to just protect it. I did Google this, and the comparisons do sell for between $500 and $800 Canadian. So I do want to be fairly careful with this. Now, the odd thing with this, which is kind of rare, because you usually only see this in mechanical watches, but the whole thing comes right out with the case back. And I'm just going to very carefully set that back in. And then I'll want to clean that up. So I'm just going to put that in. This is 99% rubbing alcohol. I'm going to let that sit for a little bit. I came prepared. This is a screw down battery. So I have my tiny little flathead screwdriver. It is tiny. I don't have my verniers here, but it is tiny. So I'm going to come in. I don't know if you can see that. It's all, looks like it's gold plated. Everything in there is quite impressive, really. It says 7 jewels. I'm looking at it with my unadjusted Swiss 7 jewels. Longines. So I'm going to come in with my precision little tiny screwdriver, and I should probably have my googly glasses on. Just kind of loosen that on both sides. I don't know if I have to remove the whole thing. We are going on an adventure together because I have never had one this expensive that I've done this to. So the next challenge will be, do I have the batteries that are compatible with it? Because with older watches, you do need to have, they don't take the standard 377s generally as a rule. So that's up and out. I should only have to take one side out. There's a little teeny tiny screw. I did get a pair of tiny little tweezers with that, but the tweezers look pretty wonky. I don't know what happened to them. Oh, and it bounced. So I'm just going to flick that up. just take a quick peek at that to see. So I only removed the one side. I did loosen that a little. Of course, my what am I trying to say? This is a RW311 rail vac. Now, I'm going to just pause this for 1 second because I have a little tool I'm going to show you that if I don't know what that is, I have a little tool. I'll be right back. Okay, this thing here, watch battery and band size gauge. Came in very handy because sometimes these older ones, they don't even have anything on them. So you have no idea. I'm a little concerned that there's a little bit of corrosion on the back. But what we do is put it through this slot. It's not a 377. It is not fitting in any of these. So it may be, oh, it's a 397. So that's what it's compatible with. Now whether I have a 397 on hand is the next question. I may have to pause this again for a moment. So this is my little watch battery collection that I have, and it turns out I have just about everything but. So I'll have to, order that. So fortunately for you, you won't have to wait because when I pick this up again, I will have the battery. But I'm going to have to order one of those. I do believe it's worth it. Especially for, what they say they're worth. But I will pause that again and see. Maybe I'll check in my archives and see if I have some back in the back. Okay, the good news is I do have one in the back. The only thing is I tested it and it's a little on the low side, so hopefully it'll work for the purpose of just finding out whether it works or not. I'm just going to very carefully bring that over. I should be wearing my googly glasses. I don't know what I was thinking. Where did I set the... Oh, it's right in front of my eyes. Okay. Take that one down. So righty tighty, lefty loosey. This is going to take a little bit of something to do. Okay. This is kind of a weird little pair of tweezers. I don't know what's going on with that. It came like this. I should get my pliers and fix them. So there's a little groove in that. You can't see it. There's a little groove in the screw right there to hold that tiny little piece of something down. It's very hard to do on camera because I'm gonna have to repair my little tweezers. Just give me 1 second, get my pliers. I don't know if you've ever heard the song "A Hole in My Bucket," dear Liza. Well, sometimes my day goes like that. I need this to do that, to do this, to do that. So I'm gonna just squeeze those. So hopefully they're a little more utilizable. And then this teeny tiny little screw in there. Oh, pity's sake. I feel like I'm performing some kind of brain surgery. So close and yet so far. Sometimes this should be left to the professionals, which I do not claim to be. Okay, I'm going to try, just going to screw it in a little wee bit. you're noticing, but I am shaking just a little bit. And not that, you know, like, just gonna start it out a little bit there. I can get that back in there or not, I do not know. I can try. I may have to take that to my workbench to do because I just can't see well enough here. That's where a second set of hands would be really good. Now, guess what I could do is turn it over and see if it's actually working. Of course, it doesn't have a second hand, so that would, you know, eliminate that knowledge. Guess I'm gonna have to take that back out. Much to my chagrin, I'm not really looking forward to that. I just nicely got that thing in there. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna attempt to kind of bend that with this to get it under that lip. Oops, the screw. Okay, well, I'll hold that down. I thought I was being smart. Turns out I wasn't. So. Now, anybody that's done any kind of artwork or makeup artistry or anything, your pinky will help balance the rest of your hand. So as I'm doing this, I'm kind of steadying everything with my pinky underneath. You can't see it. And I am not going to stop what I'm doing here to show you because it's actually something's happening here that's quite good. Hopefully. If not, this will be a good what not to do video. Sometimes it's good, you know, for me to mess something up for you so you don't have to. Done. Okay, so I'm going to just... Oh, I did that. That's okay. That's all right. Forgot the back wasn't on. I'm going to set it to 12 or midnight or whatever. Probably, you know what, good time to just take that out. And I'm going to just set that on my little cushion there and clean some of that out. I'll set this to midnight so we can see if the battery actually works. I don't know how good of a view you have on that. I have my rubbing alcohol here. I'm just going to go in and clean that. Now the band itself, it's really nice mesh, gold plated. I can guarantee you that it says it's gold plated, so it's gold plated. There's a tiny little bit of, you know, crackle in the finish there on both sides, but when it's on, you're not even going to notice that. It's a little bit. Obviously, you would reduce the price for that if it was in pristine condition. And when I say comps or, you know, comparable ones are worth between $500 and $800 used, they're not in the greatest shape either. There's wear on them. So That's what I'm saying when I say, the comps, the comparables. If you're still with me at this point, I appreciate it ever so much. It's a little nerve-wracking to go through some of this stuff and then have it turn out disastrously. I'm not going to edit that out because, you got to see what I'm doing to know anything. And if I can ruin something for you so that you don't have to learn what not to do through me, that's good too. That's how I learn most of everything, is, trial and error. This one did make me nervous because of what it's worth. So, in the larger scheme of things, ooh, it's worth $1,000. And yeah, that's impressive. It is impressive. And I'm not saying it's no big deal, because it is. But it boils down to is I paid $13 for it. So my investment isn't huge. Would I cry over it? Maybe a little bit, but so far so good. I'm trying to be careful, and I know I'm making some rookie mistakes here. I need to go into that with like my paintbrush, my soft paintbrush, and get those out there. But for this video, I'm not going to get crazy into that because that can be done with the unit. I'm not sure if that's working. It kind of looks like it isn't, which makes me kind of sad, but it could be the battery. Like I said, it wasn't 100%. Hopefully I didn't ruin anything when I did it. You never know. I said it again. We'll see. It just feels like a whole bunch of minutes have gone by already. Never know. And I will clean up the back. The back was pretty dirty. The case back in that little groove there, around there. I remembered to tie my hair back today, so you're not going to get my hair in the middle of the video, which is good. As far as like removers, for back removers, there's all kinds of them. I have a whole collection. Like I said, these are my favorite style. This is my next one with a nice flat straight edge. Get rid of the green on there. I'm assuming the base metal is probably got a brass base to it. Now I can really, really hope that this works, but so far I don't see much movement on that. Make sure I pop the crown in. It sounds like a simple thing. I've had people message me after they've received their watch saying that it's not working. And I do not ever want to make people feel stupid by any means, because not everybody's had a watch in their hand. So I just tell them, did you press the crown in? Because, and, about 8 out of 10 of them, I never hear back from them after I've said that, so I'm assuming that's all it was. And then I have the odd person that says, duh, yeah, sorry. Sounds like a simple thing, but I disengage the battery when I ship. And, I don't ever want to make people feel stupid, so I don't say, make sure you press that crown in as soon as you get it, but I should probably make up some directions, because there are people, especially the younger generation, that have never had a watch on before. Now I think I'm sadly disappointed in that, not moving, but I'm hoping it's just the battery. I'm gonna order a new one, brand new, because I didn't even think I had one of them. That's how long it's been since I've used a 397. So I will order new ones. This is going to need some more cleaning too. So I will pause this video, and oh, there might be a little movement actually. Not great though, so it's probably the battery. It has moved a little bit. I'm going to guess it's just a very low battery. If you are getting into watches, do buy a battery tester. Very very good to have. They're fairly cheap on Amazon. So the fact that it took forever to get that battery in there, I'm not relishing the idea of having to redo that, but in the long run, something like this, if it was only worth $40, I might not. But given the fact that this is a higher end piece, I will definitely do that. The band has cleaned up fairly nicely, and that little bit of wear, sometimes you can just take your pliers and give it a little squeeze to make sure all the little mesh pieces are where they're supposed to be. It's not structural, it's more aesthetic. So that's the one thing I would look for to make sure it's not structural. There's a little bit of a looseness right there. If it's structural, you're gonna, make sure you don't want somebody's watch breaking shortly after they get it. So yeah, that's a little on the loose side, but like that. Now whether I can go in there and kind of fix it is tricky. This is where the cringe factor comes in. There's dirt coming out of there too, so that's going to need a little more love and care. It is just a little bit loose in there. Sometimes you can fix that with just some little tiny needle nose pliers and just pinch it. It seems to be okay on the other side. Now that is moving, so I'm 99.9% sure that is the battery's not great. So I will put that together for now. There is a bit of dirt in there. I'm not going to go through the full cleaning here until I get the right battery in. The less I play with this, the better. But it is working, so that's a little mini triumph there. And the back is right there. It's got the little groove. That was a very easy back to remove, which is good. So I will order a new battery for that, and I will go in with the needle nose pliers and see if I can just secure that one little area that's a little on the loose side. It's fine. It's not a big deal, but over time it could be bad. So it is holding. I will just go in with needle nose pliers and just pinch that a little bit. And like I said, it'll be reduced, as this will not sell for $500 to $800. It would probably go down to, $2 or $3. But ultimately, that's a fairly nice profit margin. So Longines is a win for me as far as that goes. So if you made it through this whole video with my little, pitfalls here and there, thank you for staying with me. It's got a nice little raised decal in there. Thank you for staying with me. Feel free to like and subscribe. I would much appreciate that. And I look forward to making more videos where we can kind of go through this together. So hopefully you can't. And don't be afraid of watches. You buy a watch for $2 or $3 or even $5 at the thrift store. If it's a nice watch, it can very easily just be a simple battery change, and your profit margin is huge. So don't be afraid when you get all those junky watches in your lot bags. Go through them, take them apart. Don't make some of the mistakes I have and take apart really expensive ones. Research it first. But if you're pretty sure it's cheap, just go in there and feel free to muck around with it so that you can get used to it and not be afraid of wrecking something, and practice your it doesn't take long to get used to the feel of removing this and poking out that, and you just got to get over the fear of it because the reward can be good. I'm still learning. I'm learning a lot more about watch brands and various things, but timepieces are highly collectible, and it isn't always about the brand. It is sometimes just the aesthetic. Somebody has a look they want, and they can be, flipped for a nice little profit as well. So thank you for staying with me for this if you did, and I will be testing some more watches, and I will let you know how this went once I get the proper battery in there. I'll be at my workstation when I do that battery, so that it's not as tedious. Again, take care.